Yo, yo, yo. Good morning, boys and girls. How we doing? Welcome in. Tis Monday. Tis Monday indeed. Are we ready for another week? Are we ready? I am, I was up at flipping 5 o'clock this morning, which is not a get up time. Let's be really clear about that. That is not a get out of bed time. That is a go to bed time. But my poor little puppy, where's she gone? This one down here, this one, that ball of floof got me up at flipping 5 a.m. this morning. She decided she needed to go to the bathroom, and she was hopping and skipping and dancing around and waking the entire house up. So now she's chilling. But yeah, it means I've been up since flipping 5 a.m. this morning. But it's a new week. We have plenty to do. I'm going to start off today by doing some simple stuff. We're going to check some patron orders, probably burn some concentration if we need to. Try and keep our bonus crafters sort of caught up where possible. I don't think there's much I need to do on my main characters as far as like keeping the professions in order this week. Or the next few days at least, anyway. I think we're pretty good there. Let's turn down the tunes just a touch. But do we have a good weekend? Did everybody get some serious playtime in? I think it's about time we start paying a little bit of attention to the prices of stuff as well, because demand's going to start kicking in. People are going to start squirreling stuff away. I'm intrigued to see. I'm intrigued to see what Goldson's invested in this time. Every time somebody turns up and is like, Goldson spent 10 million on this, and I'm like, oh god. So we'll see what's going on there. Energy check, yeah. I need a boost. I'm on coffee number 2. This is coffee number 2 of the day. 2 doesn't sound like a big number, but when I drink it by like in half-liter mugs, second one is a big one for sure. Weekend went fast. I did something over the weekend that I'd been kind of meaning to do for ages, and I was like, oh, it won't take me more than a couple of hours to do. Oh, how wrong was I? I went by the theory that, well, it doesn't make sense me having all my sort of max level alts be my bank characters. So I was like, you know what? Easy business, right? Easy business. We'll swap out to a whole bunch of like level 10 bank alts. And then all my main dudes can go off doing main dude stuff. Yeah, I kind of forgot how long it takes to make 80 characters, give them bags, put them in a guild, give them some seed money, transfer them some stock, get stuff listed on the auction house. Oh boy, did I forget how long that took. So that was basically my entire weekend, if I'm honest. Not that, not something I was planning to do, but a necessary evil. Oh, Drizzling Road, you're over halfway? Jesus, so you've got although they might not be stacked up nicely, does that mean you've got the equivalent of 35 max level characters now? That's kind of crazy talk. $20 million into Dawn Crystals? Shit the bed. Damn. 381 levels? Oh boy. That's wild. That's, you've been hyper optimizing that from what I've seen. 20 million in Dawn Crystals. I wish you the best of luck. Genuinely, I do. Genuinely wish you the best of luck with that one. Oh, you want to see something funny? This made me really giggle. You know how you're not allowed to use long boys in close proximity to the tables anymore? Ground mounts are not allowed here. Well, if you hop on top of the table, right, you ready for this? You hop on top of the table. Ta-da! Oh, this made me giggle so much. I mean, this is a bit of a happy medium in my opinion. This kind of works, right? It just kind of works. You're not blocking people from getting to the table, but you know, it kind of works. But of course, you hop down here, boom, instant mount unmounted. I thought that was really funny when I spotted that. Somebody posted it on the Discord. I couldn't take credit for that, but it made me giggle. I thought it was very amusing. Right, have these guys got any orders or anything on the go? Probably. We only do the stuff that's like free or makes gold. Now, if you're going to stay there for a minute, I'll borrow your conveniently placed boy of longness. 1, yoink, 2. So yeah, I don't have... It's weird, right? I go into every stream at the moment, not really with a solid plan of or an idea of what the hell's going to go on, which is often a touch risky, because then I end up looking at the auction house, and then I accidentally end up buying a bunch of shit, and we end up having once again a stream where I don't make any gold, but I spend a bunch of it. Seems to be a bit of a habit. Why is this not crafting? Why are we not? What's going on here? Try that again, shall we? Oh, something's breaking. I've not updated add-ons again. Lotus prices are crazy. I wonder where it's going to land when the season goes live. I wonder how many people are just squirreling them away. That's the thing. I think there's yeah, like I said, we should be paying a little bit more attention to prices, I think, at the moment. Since there's going to be a combination of things happening. People are going to start squirreling stuff away. Simultaneously, I also think people are going to start mass crafting things ready for the season as well. So it's going to be some pretty spicy fluctuations in stuff, I think. Which is always fun to see. I wanted to turn the tunes down, but I didn't want to turn them off. Why have they gone so quiet? Especially with a bit of pendulum. A bit of witchcraft in the morning. This weekend I got 2 players insulting me because I dismounted the Bruto whilst they were using it. You just got to kick the auctioneer off, that's funny. Stand somewhere convenient and then kick the auctioneer off. That's a good way to make friends. I mean, they should use their own damn longbow, shouldn't they, really? Ah, flipping hell. I've not updated add-ons in a while. Journalator had an update. Journalator has had an update. This problem will go away soon. I might have purchased a few bits and pieces. For anybody that stalks my my gold total, I'm about 10 million in the hole. So I'm not going to talk in great detail about what I've purchased because I don't want to incentivize or disincentivize anybody else's opinions on that. But needless to say, I have also started squirreling some stuff away. Some of it I've been a little bit more open and public about, but there are a few things I'm keeping to myself for a little while. I can categorically say not dawn crystals, by the way. Not to, mostly because they're far too fucking expensive. I don't have that kind of money. I ain't that rich. More importantly, I don't think I'm going to go that deep into enchanting anything, to be honest. The only thing I expect to happen, well, enchanting rides, doesn't it? Enchanting almost entirely rides on the price of herbs right now, and not even all herbs. Tranquility Bloom. So just watch the price of Tranquility Bloom. I can't talk this morning. You keep your eyes on the price of Tranquility Bloom, then you'll have a fair idea of what's going on with the enchanting market as well. I should really be using concentration on these dudes as well, shouldn't I? I'm all out of I'm all out of rhythm. All out of rhythm with all of this. Not done half of the flipping work on these characters to do anything constructive either. Prisms even make money. Prisms do make money. Maybe we bang out a couple of prism crafts, why not? What do we need? We need 2 of those. Buy 3 just in case we get a proc. Whoa, not 31. Relax. That should be enough for a bit of jewel crafting concentration. Let's see. Have we done our maths right on that one? Let's bang some conch. Pray for multi-crafts. Monday morning multi-crafts. Never lucky. Ingenuity. Flipping hell. 4%. Why couldn't I have had a 10% on the multi-craft? Son of a... Does that actually leave me with... See, that's still... See, this is why you don't stack ingenuity, because even when it procs, it's fucking useless. Ah, damn son of a... Okay. What does a herb have to do with enchanting? Inks can be made into cards and thus purple crystals. Yes, inks can be run through. Yes. Inks into Dark Moon cards, disenchanted, plus pigments. Pigments into engineering, into disenchanting. So yeah, pretty much all enchanting comes through herbalism in a weird kind of way. It's odd how that changes on an expansion by expansion level, though, isn't it? It's odd how that kind of changes. It's odd how each expansion seems to have a different different sort of route to success. Like in the War Within, what was it? It was all blacksmithing hammers or something, wasn't it? Which meant that it was putting even more pressure on the price of bismuth. This time it's herbalism. It's weird how that sort of plays out. I would like to assume it's by design, but I think it's just more fluke that it's something different, to be honest. And I think Dragonflight, it was all probably... What created all of the enchanting materials back in Dragonflight? Probably cloth braces, wasn't it? So, like, it kind of floats around. Because Dragonflight, everybody picked up cloth still, right? Yes, everybody picked up cloth. So we've gone from tailoring being the source, or in turn cloth being the source of enchanting mats. Blacksmithing did quite a bit of it. Did it actually end up being blacksmithing hammers that produced a lot of it? Excluding thaumaturgy for a while. Dragonflight, nobody enchanted, couldn't afford it after 10 million lariat crafts, maybe. Yeah, it's weird how it flip-flops between different professions. Or maybe it's not that weird, I don't know. Don't sleep on Mana Lily. Rank 2 Mana Lily speculation. I ain't going there. And I'm not going there. I'm not going. I'm not biting. I'm not biting. Let's think about things. Now, what I should actually also be able to do. These accounts have my proper midnight profile now. Do. Not totally finished, but they do. Does it work well enough at how... Oh, they have clearly an old version of it. Let's do... Let's version this so that I remember what it is. Export. Whoa, hello. Please hold. Operations. Yeah, that'll do. Oh, this has got my old junk category as well. These dudes don't need the old junk one. Settings, midnight. That's an old version. See, I always have this bad habit of just hacking shit together with TSM at the beginning. Which is not really so much of a problem, but I need to be more organised about it nowadays. What? Why was the paste not valid? Right, let's assume that just works. Never assume nothing. Let's assume it works. The telltale will be now if I can go... Ooh, you know what it won't do? Ooh, am I using my... Oh, I am. I am. Hang on, none of this is going to make any sense. Just please hold. Just copy that for now. Usually I blame this on being pre-coffee, but I can't blame this on being pre-coffee yet because I'm not pre-coffee. Okay. If everything has gone to plan, we'll start that phrase again. We should just now be able to go... Boop. And it should... No! Why are you using default operation? Stop. Stop, stop, stoppity stops. Did I not... Yeah, why are you using... What are you doing, game? Oh, why you do this? Why for you do this? Why are you not claiming... Oh, I don't want to have to go through and change this on all of them. No! Take parent override. Oh, God. Maybe a reload will fix it. Add one coffee, what about the second? Yeah, we're on the second. I think we're going to need it. What creates the dawn crystals? Dark moon trinkets, for the most part. But of course, once the raid opens, and especially once Mythic Plus opens, there becomes significant more sources of epic gear to disenchant. I heard that decor items are the new bridge to max gold gains from enchants. I happen to have a few million for sale. Max gold gain from enchants? Used. Confuzzled. Try. Okay, maybe it fixes itself with a reload. Looks like it fixes itself with a reload. If that's the case, then let's give these a reload as well. A lot of this just wants to get put in the bin, actually, rather than being posted, but... I'll give it one shot on the auction house before we delete it. Why is it doing this? It's gone all sorts of crazy. Okay. Seems to work. Leaves us with nice empty bags, of which the only stuff we should have is like random ass soulbound shit. Yeah, now we're talking. By doing the abundance on the alts yesterday to get the purple tools, didn't get enough to be done with it in 3 weeks. I give up. I'll just AFK there and get the tools in 6 weeks. The yeah, I mean I don't want to start a Monday on a rant, but yeah, the abundance thing is fucking diabolical. It's not something that I care for. Okay, I've upgraded tools by the looks of things on this dude already. So we don't need those. Keep the multi-craft one though, mind. Oh, yoink. Cash money. Okay, beautiful. He looks clean and tidy. Now let's see if this works elsewhere. Missing weekly crafting order quest. God, I love that little prompt. I haven't even bothered to fly around and pick up treasures on half of these alts yet. Just purely on the basis that I can't be asked. I haven't even done this intro quest, apparently. What are we saying is the best bag here? Let's think about this. 60 odd pieces of leather. They're all quality 1 shit. Or could be the most valuable bag actually right now. Leather working for the RNG chance of majestics. There's no majestic. These are predefined bags. I mean, this dude's a leather worker. I'll just take the leather working ones anyway. I don't care. Weekly crafting order quest missing. Did I genuinely not just pick that? Oh, I've got to do these intro quests still. Have I? Ah! You can tell I haven't paid much attention to these characters properly, can't you? Okay. Also means the likelihood of them actually doing anything here. The Moxie bags is where you get your raid recipes potentially. Yeah, bit of a gamba because there's the chance of any recipe in there, so it's not. I mean, if you hit the jackpot, then fair play. Start to see a few screenshots of people selling those raid recipes. I've had a couple of people offer them straight up to me as well. Zan loves the gamba. He didn't even well, I mean, he probably does, but he just bought, I think he bought one of the recipes. And is, I hope, done pretty well out of it already. Enchant Moxie Bag Prince Gold. Open 250 bags, only got 2 shitty recipes so far. Oh my god. You win some, you lose some. Is this the leatherwork? Is this my leatherworker that's actually got tools for stuff? No. What's... okay. He must have been set a different task then. Use the jeweler's bench. Give me quests. Oh, that's not the right button. Ouch. Okay, not doing any of them. We got some concentration to burn. Should do. Yeah, full bar of concentration. That going to be enough? This is by no means an efficient or optimal way of doing these, but considering it's 2,000 gold profit just off the rip. Put that down there. I don't like it covering this button. It scares me. Oh, stupid ingenuity procs. Can I get some of that juicy multi-craft game? Nope. Not today. Enchanting, it's easy with multi-boxing. You only need dusts and moats, no other type of orders. Yeah, the for those who went hardcore into enchanting concentration alts, only to find out that the concentration isn't really worth much of anything, I suspect then that patron orders, ironically, are the play to extract some value out of them at least. I'm in the same boat on this dude as well, that I'm not going to have even picked up the basic quests on this fella. Don't know how I got to like this point without doing this, but happened somehow. Oh, pick a bag. Whatever that one. Got 10 mil to burn or invest. Any suggestions? No. Does that mean you have 100 mil? If you have 100 mil, you should know what you're doing. If you've only got 10 mil to your name, don't burn all of it on some random suggestion, especially not from some random dude on the internet either. I don't want that level of, just put it on black, yeah. I don't want that level of, responsibility. Just ask Goldson, yeah. Why am I buying more void-tempered doodahs? Didn't I just get a goodie bag full of those things? Oh, I've got like no frames again. I really need to figure out how to solve this problem. It's alright if I'm just doing little silly work like this, but my computer chugging at 25 FPS when I stream is not fun. Oh, holy essay, Batman. Computer went blue screen and the SSD failed over the weekend. Took a long time to reinstall Windows and reinstall WoW. Thank God TSM profile's still there. While I was recovering the TSM profile, fearing it all disappeared, was thinking, should drastically change how I play goal making. What would you change to your operation if some catastrophe like that happened to you? I wouldn't change a damn thing because my TSM profile's backed up automatically. TSM Premium. More important, I end up being the one that makes and distributes the TSM profile, so I've always got a backup. That said, if you know, the only hypothetical would be, you know, what happened if my accounts just like for some reason got deleted or wiped or something. And in all honesty, if I had to start from absolutely zero again, I certainly wouldn't be going anywhere near crafting. Not a chance would I go anywhere near crafting if I had to start from zero. You could farm yourself up to 10 mil, like easy business. I would probably farm the first 2 million gold, then switch straight into cross-realm flipping. I think I would probably jump straight over crafting. It's got the highest, or one of the highest sort of ceiling opportunities, but it's also the razor thin margins these days are not really to my liking. Tend to feel it's you can do crafting, you just don't do anything that's mass crafting. You don't do anything that goes anywhere near the region-wide auction house. That's a game for the big boys. Grind 10 gold, start buying stuff on the auction house below vendor, sell it. I mean that works to a degree. We've probably got concentration to burn again. Yeah. Right, multi-craft procs. Pray for multi-craft procs. Don't screw me, game. Never lucky. Don't screw me. Never lucky. Game hates me. Not a single multi-craft proc today. Rigged game. I was actually thinking about abandoning cross-realm pet flipping. Seems to have really slowed down in the last few months. Any sort of, yeah, an evergreen market like that will always fluctuate. Will always fluctuate. The this is why you need to, if you're doing cross-realm flipping, it's the same theory as always, right? You don't put all your eggs in one basket. So you're doing cross-realm flipping, you want to spread things out a little bit. Little bit of pets, a little bit of transmog, a little bit of recipes, a little bit of raid BOEs, a little bit of decor, you know. You switch it up some. So then when one area's quiet, the other stuff is still popping. Is that enough to make those? Bet it is. No. Maybe it is. No. Is there an add-on or something that will auto-buy a shopping list? You'll probably never find any add-on if you use the word auto, because all of that is not allowed. Your absolute best scenario is going to be Auctionator's shopping lists. That's about as close as you'll get. Craft Sim can make you a temporary queue for anything you queue up with Craft Sim. And then it's as quick as just scanning one shopping list and buying what you need. This is about as efficient as it gets. Boom. Not going to bother with those. Pissed off because the robe node in tailoring doesn't give skill for blue tailoring profession gear. Was dumbfounded when my 15 points didn't help me reach max. Same for hats. Ah, yeah. Now you see that's the problem. You're using the War Within rules. This is midnight. It's a bit sneaky that they've changed that, but tailoring is just generally a flipping mess of a profession. I don't know what they were thinking when they designed tailoring for midnight, but it's an absolute mess. Ouch. Okay, one is giving me a flipping augment rune, but that's about it. What we can also do whilst we're here is buy our mats for the prisms. Oh, no, don't go buying the prism. That's crazy talk. That should be enough for everything. One multi-craft procs. Never lucky. Never lucky. Okay. I never bothered making half of these characters or giving any of these characters a proper job. It was on my to-do list to like give them proper jobs, but I got too distracted with other things. As is the case. And I'm ever so much learning that at the beginning of an expansion there just isn't enough time in the day to literally do everything. So you have to pick things you want to do. Which has meant a lot of these characters were not given the extracurricular jobs. So they're now just churning through patron orders, trying to keep them half up to speed, just in case they ever need a proper job. It's better to have, 50, 100 knowledge points in the bank on these characters. Meaning if at any point ever I need to just, quickly spin up a build for something, then it's possible to do. That's the theory, at least. Some of them have been given proper jobs. A couple of my scribes have been given proper jobs. Like milling and ink crafting and whatever. Why does the ink node increase the skill towards codified as a route? How do you find this info from in-game tooltips. You don't, because the tooltips are shit. Blizzard have had this problem for years. That their tooltips are just ass. The problem is that so much of like this sort of stuff is what falls under the category of like finishing touches in polish, which goes from making a system that works to a system that's good. And Blizzard just doesn't designate the time to the professions anymore to make them like good. I mean, we launched Midnight with the professions barely working, never mind like polished and like looking good, which is a bit of a shame, but you can only play the game that we get given, you know? Inscription was also another one that was, or at least it gave the impression it was like super busted. And there was unfortunately, like I left it as late as possible to like do deep dives and do reviews and stuff for the professions, and Inscription was one of the last ones I did because I was desperately waiting for them to, you know, unfuck it. It just didn't happen. Now means there's going to be all sorts of weird shenanigans going on with inks because people are going to put knowledge points in different places and you're going to start swapping out materials and all of this sort of business. Some people will get it, some people won't get it. Some people will spend knowledge points where they don't need to. Some people won't have enough. Be all over the place. Waiting for the Mythic race to show the world that Blizzard removed weak auras, but it hasn't changed the raid environment to reflect that change. Pretty sure the big raid guilds have already developed external replacements also. Well, this is what players were saying for years, right? Players were saying that they don't really mind if Blizzard take add-ons out of the game, but they need to provide an equivalent, if not better, replacement themselves. That's simple, right? That if they want to get rid of weak auras, that's fine, but they need to make sure that everybody that was using weak auras for whatever reason can still do what they were already doing. Or entirely 100% remove the necessary, remove the need for that add-on in the first place. I mean, you could passively make weak auras go away if Blizzard just removed the need for it. And then there wouldn't need to be a Blizzard equivalent replacement. But yeah, that scenario is never, ever, ever gonna become reality. So it will be quite fun to watch the race this time, I think. With no, just to see what the big guys do actually end up doing. I think I've done orders. These dudes. Do I want to quickly craft up a bunch of these? Have I sold through everything? Let's have a little looky. I must have done because I got nothing on the auction house. Oh, no, that's because they're all in my bags. Whoops. Okay, let's have a look at the profitability of this then. I am going to be in the world of not competitive based on only having a quality 5 blue tool like an absolute pleb. But is that going to make a difference to crafting any of this anyway? Let's I don't seem to have any mats on me for starters. 3% margin, 3% potential profit. Jesus. Jesus. That's not fun at all, is it? What's going on with abundance? I mean, what day is it? It changes daily. Doubt blue versus purple will matter for enchants. True. Since resourcefulness is so less impactful than multicraft. What am I looking at the price of? So you take a loss on the normal quality ones. For real? Because dawn crystals have gone up in price by 1,000 gold. You take a loss on normal quality ones, and there's 3% profit margin in crafting a high quality one. This is why my enchanter's not doing anything. I am not playing this game. There is fucking no chance I am playing this game. I'm not wrestling over 3% margins. You can get bent. It's just not happening. Am I missing anything in order to... What am I missing here? Nothing. I couldn't be more bis if I tried. So the reality is we miss nothing. Meaning, the only thing we actually do is we... Yeah, there's not even any value in concentration either, is there? Because all the enchanting mats are the same price. Oh, I mean that. Yeah, I suppose I can bang a shatter quickly. Yeah, but it's I mean, I guess it makes some difference. Okay, it takes my 3% up to 5%. Whoop-de-doo. On an enchant that is, you know, useful but not the most popular. Useful but not super duper mega popular. My choice to spec into this direction did not end up being very fruitful. I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that. That's I've got 9 points. Do I wish to consider going anywhere else? I need 20 points before I can consider being good at making anything else. Helm, shoulder, and boot enchants. Can I cheese it by being halfway? Doesn't look like it because there's going to be too much skill. Okay, so I am waiting on next resets points to fill out another node, which will give me a few more recipes to consider. But I'm still kind of pigeonholed in an area that's not very lucrative. What about the finesse one? Where's it gone? That one. Harroneer tool finesse. This math seems wrong. What are we missing here? Missing some copper ingots. The flipping math in here. It's the same flipping materials. Why is this one all of a sudden mad money and the other one's not? Just there's math in here. What's going on? Take a loss on the low quality one. That's not a surprise. I'm not sure I trust Craftsim's numbers here. Cost to press the buttons 14k, and I can sell it for 17 apparently. Don't know if I believe it. I don't know. There's only one way to double check, innit? There's only one way to double check. And it's to punt. Zero on the back end of all of these. Can people stop buying dawn crystals, please? You're making them too expensive. Please, thank you. Very much appreciates. A few Dawn Crystal resource procs, though. 3 in a row, by the way. Just saying. 3 in a row. Hello. Yoink. Right, let's throw those on the auction house. See if the snag any deals from them. Okay, what was I doing on this tune? Did we do patron orders on this tune? I don't think we did. Have a look. Okay, apparently I did all of the ones that were worth doing. Moxie, Moxie, Moxie. Oh, these all want high quality. You all want high quality, you scumbag. To be honest, they're still worth doing, aren't they? They are still worth doing. I mean, what's 80 concentration? It's not like I'm using it for anything else. I'll provide the dust for 30, Moxie. Don't you worry, game. Don't you worry. Oh, wait, hang on. I'm missing a moat. Moat of magic. Moat of wild. In before instant undercuts. Haven't found a market yet in midnight that I haven't had to sit to cancel scan to get sales. I don't do any cancel scanning. No, thank you. No, thank you. I've got over 1,000 Moxie on this dude. I need to consider what my use for this is. I mean, we could always gamba a bag, but I'm not about that life. I think best thing to spend that on is going to be looking at what we're going to spec into next week and see if there's any recipes we can get ahead of time. We're either going to go into World Soul Wards or we're going to go into Azerothian Arms, aren't we? Do I want Weapon, Chest and Ring enchants, or do I want Helm, Shoulder and Boot enchants? We should get ourselves the extra 10 points to fill one of these nodes, which means we'll then be able to min-max. Let's see if we do Haranir. What recipes do we not have that we might get access to soon, TM? Jadrasil roots, delves, heavy trunks. These are probably already going to be on the auction house, aren't they? Chandrasil's roots. Is that a bind on pickup recipe? Surely not. No. 100k for the recipe. No, thank you. No, thank you. Not spending 100k on a recipe. I'm never going to make that money back. Everybody goes weapon enchants. Yeah, this is it. It's kind of like, do I go with the grain or do I go against the grain? In the hope that it presents an option that's better. This is something that we should probably buy a recipe for, because if we don't spec into it soon, we will spec into it soonish. Chest mark of Root Warden. Nature's Fury. What's the cost of this? Flipping 65k a piece. These recipes are mad expensive. Why are recipes so flipping expensive? More importantly, why am I not flipping these if these are worth so much flipping money? Why am I not on that? I'm missing a trick here, aren't we? This is another one. Admirdrasil's Grace. Admirdrasil's, I can't type clearly. Admirdrasil's Grace. Another 80k for a recipe. Flipping hell's bells. Never tried Jawn crafting. Is it too late to start today? Is the catch-up bad? The catch-up's terrible. Catch-up is terrible, but you're never too late. We're 10 days into an expansion. We've got 2 years ahead of us. Like, just get going. Just get going. The best time to start was a long time ago, but the next best time to start is now. Just get going. Check out the prices on decor recipe that come from the treasures. Pretty insane prices. Yeah, decor's another one that's just not getting that sort of level of media attention, is it? Which means everything in it is probably still pretty expensive. I need to be going out of my way to be hunting down some of these recipes or buying some of these recipes or something, I think. World Song Cradle, this is the raid enchant, isn't it? Yeah. I wonder how much this one is. Is the one on Draenor? Yeah, casual 2.3 million gold. Lol. Somebody's got it though. Or some bodies. Plural have got it. What's the enchant even do? Causing your healing spells and abilities to sometimes grant your target a barrier, absorbing the next 3,000 damage. Is that Biss for healers? Is that Biss weapon enchant for healers? Making bank on the decor, but the decor recipes are harder to get this time. I mean, that's cool. I don't mind a recipe being difficult to get. I genuinely don't, especially at this point in an expansion when anything that comes in, anything that's easy is just like nuked in value super quick. So there being a little bit of difficulty to get stuff is always worth. Do you mind showing me your jewel crafting build? Just want to have an idea. Oh, I've got multiple different builds for jewel crafting. There's so many. You could go prospecting, you could go crushing, you could go vial making, you could go diamonds, you could go specific gem cuts. Because of the way this professions are nowadays, you can spec into anything. Just pick something and focus on it, though. That's the trick. Don't try and do everything. Be really focused, be narrow in on something. Even if it's just one cut gem, do everything you possibly need to do to be the best person at cutting that gem. Because that's the kind of level of detail you need to go into with professions to even hope for a profit. So yeah, my build doesn't matter. This is another one we should buy. World Soul Tenacity. There's a splattering of the enchants, not too many of them. Okay, there's a few recipes I should probably hunt down, but at the very least I should buy this Mark of the Root Warden. Which is going to come from you, isn't it? Mark of the Root, no? Oh, it comes from Lorendal. Comes from Lorendal. Mark of the Root Warden. Where is it? Needs a flipping search bar. Gonna be formula something, isn't it? Wait, where is it? It definitely comes from Lorendal. Oh, Naynar. Oh, oh, that's okay. I know where that is. That's not Lorendal at all. Oh, hello. Who put? Craftsman really helps with that, by the way. There's a specialization tab that tells you what nodes will give you skill to craft specific things. Helps you not waste points. Very true. Very true. Craftsman will definitely give you a big old list of where you need points eventually. The only thing that it doesn't do is really do a great job of telling you what your priority nodes are, though. Obviously, step one, of course, is figuring out, does this node actually benefit me? Step two is deciding that, okay, I've only got 50 points, which are the most important nodes. That's where Craftsman won't help you, but... Oh shit, I need some Void Light. I've got Moxie up the wazoo. Have I got enough? Let me get some Void Light. Void Light. Transfer. Yoink. Shall I just grab this World Soul Tenacity one at the same time? Fuck it. YOLO. Why not? Why not? It's only Void Light. We'll just farm more. We got this. I want Blizz to add a toy that lets you stun lock somebody on a Bruto for 30 seconds so you can stop them dismounting while you use it. That's quite funny. Oh my god, the abuse of that though. Can you imagine? People would abuse the shit out of that. I love the sheer lack of frame rate I'm getting right now as well. I messed up with my alchemists. Only got only one. Went fully void potions, not even waiting for the full release of the season. Do you think it's good to set up another one for light? Who says void potions won't be good? Who says void potions won't be good? Everybody's assuming light. Everybody's assuming light. Right, this should at least then, whilst it doesn't help me right now, it means once we get another 10 knowledge points, we can start min-maxing those extra recipes we got. Which are, where are they? Azerothian arms. We'll actually have some first-time craft bonuses off those as well. Okay, only 4 first-time craft bonuses. That isn't going to help me reach skill 20, is it? No. Shitting me? Craft this at a profit? No fucking way. Yeah, these are all using expensive roots and stuff. Alright, that's enough enchanting for now. Let's not mess around with enchanting too much. I'm in danger of spending more gold if I'm not careful. Potion of Recklessness is void, isn't it? I think that's used in a few specs. This consumes for raid. I mean, yeah, like I said, I mean, I wouldn't write yourself off yet. You might have big brained it without even knowing. Like you said, it's not even the season launch yet. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Do I burn concentration or do I just save it for a rainy day for no real reason? Is there cash money in I've got price overrides active somewhere. Why have I got price overrides active? Oh, I know why. Sure. We went elbow deep in profession tools on blacksmithing. Meaning I don't actually need any concentration for the purpose of crafting these. Might be worth starting to pick up the epic recipes. Let's think. 940 Moxie, just knocking about. What are they, 200 a piece? That's 4 of the epic recipes already. How many are there? Like 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're halfway there already. We're halfway there to get all of the Sunforged recipes. Be useful for work orders. I don't think I have much to do on my blacksmith, if anything, really. I think I might just burn concentration into... No, I'm going to keep the concentrate. What is the crack with these in terms of guaranteeing them? Okay, I'm going to be able to guarantee any of the recipes that I get access to anyway. So I actually have no reason to save my concentration. I could sell it to somebody else via an order, which I'm never going to do. Or I just purge it into sterling alloys. That's what we do. Quality 1 Thalassian blacksmith hammer. Surely I can do better than that. Surely I can do better than that. Can I make myself a blacksmith hammer of... Blacksmith hammer of... What do we want? Multicraft? Need 2 dazzling thorium. I'm thinking out loud here a lot today. Second multi-craft tool. One with multi-craft. For the purpose of burning concentration, as weird as that sounds. I'll spend 10k on that. That right? Are we good? I'm gonna need to buy an enchant for it as well, but that's fine. Yeah, just go. Go. Enchant tool. Aranir, multi-crafting. That one. Whoa! Maybe I should be crafting and selling these. Oh, wait, hang on. What the f am I doing? I can make these myself, literally. I don't even care. Somebody else has some. Oh, somebody stole them. There we go. That was flipping hell. The enchant was more expensive than the tool. That's wild. No wonder nobody. No wonder people aren't putting those enchants on their tools. Yeah, that was 25,000 gold just for a multi-craft tool for crafting burning concentration. That's not going to pay itself back anytime soon, is it? Okay, sure. What are we doing? Sterling alloys. 181 concentration, so we're looking at 5 crafts. 5 crafts. 5 times 6 is 30. And like 15 of those bad boys, something like that. Is that how this works out? Yeah. 500 gold. Okay, sure. I haven't specced into multi-craft in my specialization trees either, so all of this is kind of silly, but hey, we got 1 multi-craft proc all the same though. We'll take that. That's a win. You know what? I'd love for Blizzard to add a use materials from the auction house button for Patreon orders. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Is Moo's catch-up flicker availability correct? I have 20 plus available on most of my characters, but I've been maxing them since early access. I'd guess so. I've no reason to not believe so. There's hidden, to my understanding, the way it's calculated is based on some hidden quests or something. It's not a programmed in thing, it's an API call. I've got a lot of bonus materials knocking about on this dude, which we should probably look at selling. I can't be bothered. I'm going to go. I tell you what, this is all far too much like hard work. I'm not going to do the patron orders and all of these. I can't be asked. You know what we're going to do instead? We're going to kill some majestic beasts and we're going to get some. We're going to actually make some gold. Because if I don't make any gold, I'm going to cry. I'll stop spending it. Log on Muthius. Cancelled all plans for blue tools on my alt crafters. I'll settle for green ones now. Don't want to get trapped in a sunk cost. Not convinced the profit's there. Looks like a lot of competition this expansion. It's a combination of things, really. This is the one being it's the third time we've had this profession system. It shouldn't be of any shock to anybody that people know how it works now. Third expansion in a row without fundamentally that much changing has, yeah, caused a lot of people to just hit the ground running. They just know what they're doing. On top of that, there's no shuffle, so there's no way to like edge yourself an advantage. There's you know, we've even seen simplification since last time, so yeah, it's not really of any surprise that it's a lot more competitive this time round. And you stack on top of the fact that everybody has got like incredible access to some amazing tools, whether it be add-ons or spreadsheets or like, you know, everybody's started the expansion knowing basically everything. The game is solved from that perspective. So yeah, profits at the top it's not really a surprise to me that they're skinny. You know, it's very hard to push and build yourself an advantage when everybody's got access to exactly the same stuff. People love to blame an exploit, but I don't think that's had any impact at all, to be brutally honest. I think the markets were going to do this regardless. The only thing I didn't like is that Blizzard made the blue tools bind on equip. It gave people quick and easy access to them, sure, but I mean the stretch goal was always there with the epics, so I don't think making the blue tools bind on equip was that bad of an idea. This shard looks relatively empty. Yoink. Any bonuses? No bonuses. What you use to resize the WoW windows? Windows 11 layout sucks. They're Windows 11 layouts. It's just window snapping I use. They're all just, you know, move them about. And down he goes. See you later, putty cat. Ooh. Hey, put myself in the guild. Oh, some high quality ones. Nice. Ah, did we not get any Majestics on any of those kills? Sad times. My guild rep's not high enough to use the bank. Sure. You could still make blue tools. Sell on the auction house instead of order crafting. Too much PvP there. Oh, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm crafting and selling them on the auction house. Any excuse to not have to do work orders, I'll happily take it, to be honest. So in a way, yeah, I'm a bit biased, but where's Gloomy Boy? Where's he at? Yes. Have some of you. Come here. Come here, putty cat. Ooh. Enchunked. Made bank flipping the bizarre bites. They guarantee multi-craft procs on feasts. I'm intrigued to see how cooking does. They put flipping roots on everything, haven't they? Oh my god, I actually died. Lol. That wasn't the plan. That wasn't the plan. This is why I shouldn't do this on stream. And more importantly, this is why I should level this flipping paladin. Can we try that again, please? Well, 400 bizarre bandits at the start of the expansion for 25 gold apiece. Nice. Yeah, cooking's going to be an interesting one, because they've flipping made leveling cooking, like, dum-dum easy. But putting petrified roots and everything will, you know, make the price of crafting stuff very volatile, especially doing it ahead of time now. Since the probability is that those roots will get even cheaper when the Mythic Plus season opens. Why am I taking so much flipping damage today? Ret doesn't... My paladin doesn't usually take this much damage. Maybe they've made this... I don't know. Probably that I'm streaming. No Majestics on this dude. A claw. You could get 180 piece from each of the rep vendors. Crafted pieces, maybe fill the rest with BOEs if you're lacking gear. Yeah, I probably should just get some reasonable gear on this dude. He's still running around wearing particularly nothing. It's an optimization for another day. Cat does the most damage by far of all of the Majestics. Yeah, I don't plan on being here for very long. This is just where I dump these characters once they're first freshly leveled. But once they've got a few more knowledge points under their belt, I'll probably move them all to the Grand Beast. But I need a few more knowledge points on a few tunes first before I do that. I don't plan on killing the kitty for too long. Does perception increase the chance to get majestic materials? Yes. Yes, if you're doing just majestics, you definitely want to spec into perception. If you look at the knowledge point tree, pretty much every one of the nodes is giving you a bonus to perception as well, which is your big hint. Either they've changed something about this dude, because he seems to be hitting way harder today. Is my gear broken or something? No. Just being shit today, clearly. Oh, a majestic hide. Another majestic hide. I don't really need to put all the materials in the guild bank like this each and every time, but I'm not really selling any of this at the moment. So I don't mind doing it this way. It's also building the muscle memory to even remember to do it. Rather than it being a super duper optimal thing to do right now. Stack it all up, make it look neat and tidy. Don't want to mess in the guild bank. Beautiful. Wonderful stuff. I believe there'll be a significant drop in the price of Dawn Crystals. M0 will be daily lockout and will drop champion gear. M0 will be daily lockout. Since when is M0 daily lockout? Is that is that something new for season launch? With next reset. Oh, okay. The appeal of M0 disappears really quickly though. Although well, it's another week until Mythic Plus comes out, isn't it? So maybe. I still think the significant contribution towards Dawn Crystals comes from Dark Moon card disenchanting. I'm not totally convinced that M0s actually supply that many of the crystals in the first place. But I don't know why I don't particularly like speculating on this sort of stuff. There's clearly lots of things I don't know. Gonna be a bunch of M pluses who'll be like, time for your daily M0 World Tour. Yes, mummy. You're gonna be healing them all with your 7 million bajillion monks. Another claw. Oh, yo, did we get a claw and a hide? Yoink. Right. I've drank so much flipping coffee. I need a quick bathroom break before we before we do the next team. Please hold, boys and girls. I'll be back in 2. Alrighty. Jesus, Streamlabs, give it a break. Spam Central. Spam Central. There is nothing better in this world than a nice cold can of Coke, but closely behind is lemon Fanta out of a can.
Let's make sweet, sweet profit together.
Oh my god, I love cheese too. Thank you very much for the sub, appreciate that. Talking of things we love. Yes, yes. Mango Fanta? Bis? I don't think I've ever had mango Fanta. I don't think I've ever had it. Nice cold can of cheese. Can of cheese. Okay. Alright. Putty cats over there. I'm going to grab some of these extracurriculars. Because we were already struggling with gearing a minute ago, so why not pull even more? I'll Gloom Claw in a second. Just give a few extra bonuses. Get some knowledge points for skinning on these dudes. That's the plan. Yeah, we get absolutely hammered. I might need to switch into prot. Did you say chorizo flavored drink? I don't know if me and you can be friends. Chorizo flavored drink. What? Chorizo, yes, very good, but it's a drink? I'm not sure meaty sausage flavoured water is what I'm after, you know. Didn't Limp Bizkit have an album called Hot Dog Flavoured Water? Seems, brother, ooh. Yeah. Best Limp Bizkit album. They had some interesting album names, didn't they? Chocolate Starfish or something. Hot dog flavoured water and chocolate flavoured starfish or something. Oh, I'm very aware they're not meant to be literal album names. Yeah, things to skin. Things to skin. We get any actual goodies? I don't need translations for the album names. I know what they mean. But thanks for that. Maybe for the lesser educated in chat. A claw? Must remember to put my meat in the guild bank too. Oh, there's a bonus dude behind him. Lurking in the background. Majestics will jump in price on Wednesday. Well, my thought is that the Majestics will mostly get consumed via enchants. Their consumption right now, I think, is pretty exclusive to Profession gear. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I think it's when they start being used in enchants and then be considered a semi-consumable item. I think they will spike. That the demand will definitely increase. But ultimately, I'm in no rush to sell them. Fun fact: I'm actually like, because I'm also crafting and selling blue Profession gear. I'm consuming huge amounts of these at the same time. So this is also why I don't really have any strong need to. I don't have any strong need to sell them right now. So I've got crafting requirements myself for them. What's the specs on these skinning alts? Anything special? I probably haven't done it particularly efficiently. But I've literally gone, just slammed all my points into Talented Tracker. It's possible for you to put 20 points in Talented Tracker and then put all your points in Majestic Materials. I actually think for most people that's the best way of doing it. Talented Tracker, though, 40 points gets you the Grand Beast lure. And because of the way I do the skinning, I want to eventually kill the Grand Beast, which means I'm putting 40 points into here first. But if you just want to build a skinner and do the absolute bare minimum, sort of put it on an alt kind of thing, 20 points in Talented Tracker and then just unlock Majestic Materials. Then any other knowledge points in these is just kind of a win. These nodes, the chance to drop doubles and then increased is actually probably more beneficial for most. So I'm kind of doing it backwards to the way I think you probably should. But that's just me being different. I'm missing 2 points for maxing both the nodes. Drives me nuts. Hey, it's close though. Good effort. Didn't mean to pop me cooldowns there. That was a mistake. Squizzle! Flying Squizzle! It's so annoying. I have this unwritten rule that I don't buy store mounts, but those flipping squirrels could not be more on brand. I've resisted all these years buying Squeakers because he's a store mount, even though I genuinely think Squeakers is one of the best mounts in the game. But those squirrels are literally calling me. Apparently the guild vault is still out. No, it's just faded. Some meat, some leather, shiny hide, shiny leather. Don't get much of the shiny leather. A fur and a fang. Oh, a hide. My sort of backwards logic on how to put points in these spectries though is because at least for now I kind of half plan on the I'm playing the long game a little bit. In terms of the fact that this is an activity that I suspect will be quite worth doing for quite some time. And for as long as it is worth doing it slightly incorrectly from the start will give me strong incentive to keep up with it. Because it will I weirdly play this game where I kind of need to be working on something. I'm all about the journey. I hate being at the final destination and just grinding it out. So my sort of backwards way of speccing the knowledge points for these skinners means that until I've got 80 knowledge points on them all, I will consider them incomplete. This is me self-justifying why I'm doing it wrong, but not everything has to make sense. Oh, did we not log you out? Why did we not log you out? Oops. Is Squeaker's also the name of the lamp? Oh yeah, I've got the little gold mouse. He's in the main house. He's not in the studio. I'm amazed you remember that. I need to buy a new lamp, a light bulb for that though. One of the puppies knocked it over and broke the lamp or the bulb. Do you know if lumber gathering can be influenced by speed or anything? I don't think so. I think lumber gathering just is what lumber gathering is. It's not a profession, is it? So it's also not influenced by anything. I believe. Do you mean you made me buy the squirrel? Oh well, that's true. I kind of forgot about that. Did you do the single beast or the full world tour? Oh, on the alts, I just do the single beast. Doing the world tour is far too much like hard work on the alts to fly them all around, and you know, I'm somewhat naturally averse to doing too much open world multi-box kind of stuff anyway, because it's always a bit risky. And so I don't really want to be training them around the globe too much if I can get away with it. Right, what can possibly go wrong pulling all of these? What can possibly go wrong? Dying appears to be what could very possibly go wrong. Interesting one for farming Marl. When you hit crest capped, any crests are converted instead. Ah, yeah. I've seen people posting about that. I don't know how lucrative that is for farming it, but it's another one of those, isn't it? Void like Marl is one of those. It's a problem today that will just be in abundance tomorrow. It's just one of those annoying things that you can never get enough of it to start with. Now, if you're doing alt armies and you're forcing yourself to buy recipes with Void Light Marl to try and gain an edge, I can see why lots of people need it, but proactively farming for it feels like a waste of time, I can't lie. If you can figure out ways to just like passively get more of it, I think you'll do better. Abundance mentioned, take a shot. Yeah, I know, sorry. Wasn't planned. That word was part of my vocabulary before Blizzard turned it into a shit minigame. Not my fault. You not get a single Majestic from that team. That's real stinky. I think prices will spike on Wednesday, Thursday. No. What you will always see happen is that most people squirrel away materials and then they expect that on day one of season launch the price of everything to skyrocket. And it never happens. And in fact, what usually happens is the exact opposite. Usually on the very first day of the season and for the first few days of the season, everything crashes. And it's usually down to the fact that most people have either, not too much experience with a season launch, or people panic, or a combination of both. Anybody that's way over invested usually will believe that day one of the season is when instant demand for everything, and it's just not the case. It's spread out over a few weeks, and you also have to wait some time for everybody's stockpiles to deplete. Then prices start going up. It usually takes 10 days to 2 weeks before prices actually start going up. Is this dude gonna just casually wait for me to drop the thing? Probably. So yeah, it takes a little time for everything to rise in price. So yeah, definitely don't expect everything to just magically be 20%, 50%, 100% more expensive on Wednesday. That's a bit of a noob trap. You usually have to, you can't. The logic behind this is that you need to wait for people to get the new gear before they're going to spend big money on it. You'll definitely see things like potions and flasks start to pop off. But that might not necessarily have much of an effect on the prices of everything for a while. So yeah, don't get too fooled by the theory that season starts and hey presto, everybody makes money. The fun thing is that the people who actually make most of the gold at the start of a season are those that understand this concept and just hold out and wait. Now, I don't want this to sound too much like, r/Wall Street bets, but he who has diamond hands at the beginning of the season and doesn't panic usually gets to take benefit of when the prices do eventually rise on some things when stockpiles start to run low. Well, I got my mana-infused bone for the week on one of my alts. That wasn't something I expected to see. I got surprised by a perp then. Yoink. If I'm close to getting those on some of these tunes, that's 3 quick and easy knowledge points. A claw. Shiny leather. Not getting quite as many hides or claws today as I did yesterday, but anything's a bonus right now. The War Within, it was best to hold off until the weekend and hold on to your augment runes for a couple of weeks. Yeah, you just have to wait for stockpiles to deplete. You know, price is never going to go anywhere as long as people are sat on a huge amount of stock, right? And that if that stock is, you know, people squirreling away materials, price is never going to go up as long as people still have lots of stuff. Price goes up when things start to run out. And stuff doesn't, you know, we've had 2 weeks of farming. It takes a while to churn through 2 weeks worth of farmed stock, even from those that like squirrel stuff away. On top of the fact that those that have sort of invested in stuff, squirreled stuff away, often try and dump it on the auction house all on day one, thinking that that's the day instant demand kicks off. They're usually part of the problem in terms of the fact that they dump the price, you know. That's what causes that initial season start crash. Oh, she's awake now. She was chasing squirrels in her sleep. She's awake now. The other one. Where's Amlams? There's only 2 dogs in the studio with me today. Solo's in the house. Amlams is crashed over by the water bowl. Let's grab all of this lot first. Reskinning mats. Nipsu, the black one, has just had her 9th birthday. The other 2 puppies are brother and sister, and they're 8 months old. Okay, apparently I can't pull all of those in one pack. Yo, even these things are chunking through me. I reckon this dude's just got dog shit gear. He's leveled up to 83. This is probably the problem. I'm losing that early low 80 advantage. Oh my god, dun-dun shards. Hadn't considered doing dun-duns on this dude this week either. How do you decide if you want to take profits now or diamond hands? Ultimately, if you can take a profit, there's no reason in not taking a profit. My point with this, more so than anything though, is do not assume that day one of the season is where everything magically gets 3 times the price. It takes a while for stockpiles to deplete and for stuff to naturally rise with demand. You got to burn through those 2 weeks of stock first. One of the problems of having such a long period of time since the expansion launch, and you know, the actual start of the season, means stockpiles are pretty high, and it takes longer for them to run out. Really advertises AFKing in the dun-dun if you multi-box on many alts. I'm just not going to bother doing any of it at all. Like, I'll do dun-duns on, like, my 4 characters, and I'll do it properly on my 4 characters that have my main crafting professions, but the rest of them, I'm just not going to bother doing it at all. Especially now that they keep fucking about with it every day. Like literally every other day, they're making hot fixes to it. And annoyingly, they don't put them in any patch notes, and they don't tell anybody they're making these changes. And it's because I don't really think they're meant to be systematic changes or like gameplay changes. They're all changes that are being made to aid performance. And this is annoying because the tech devs who are pushing for better performance are obviously not very gameplay, let's make a fun game minded. And what's actually happening is they're taking an average to mediocre event and just making it worse every day. Because, alright, sure, if it's like an absolute Zerg fiesta and you do it in a raid and it's just silly, then there's value in that. There's value in it just being a silly thing that you just blast every week and don't worry about it. Even if it's not very inspired. But what's happening now with them just kind of like nuking the performance or the value of it by meaning that not only do you need to be in a raid, but you also need to be in a sort of a medium-sized raid, because too many people, it means you don't get any orbs to collect, and too few people, it means you don't kill enough to get any orbs. It's just messy. They've just made a real mess of the entire system. And it shows that it was implemented on the beta, clearly never tested properly in any way, shape, or form, and kind of left as just an assumption that it will just work fine. And, you know, that ended up not being the case. So, it's, I wouldn't be too surprised if in the next couple of weeks we see yet more changes to Abundance. Because what they've done with it now only really feasibly works whilst there's lots of people trying to do it. You try run that thing solo in a couple of weeks when most people aren't interested and it's only the crafters that are doing it. It's going to be an absolute nightmare to get any more than like 300, 600 flipping points. And the fact that there's no catch up is also grim, but like, it was a absolute swing of a miss. It's so, not to start the old Ranthius mode here, but it's really, really frustrating when we see Blizzard try these new things and they have so much potential, but they fall so short of what that potential is. Abundance could have easily been like a mini mage tower skill-based sort of, you know, mini game for crafters. Could have very easily been something. You could have had normalized gear in there. You could have had to figure out what the little mini game is, and points make prizes, so there's an incentive to get reasonably good at it. And it could have been quite fun, little solo adventure. Bit of gameplay into the crafting, but like they just fucked it. Dropped the ball. Like I never want to sort of QQ on Blizzard trying something new that hard, because it's good that they do try new things. But it's kind of really frustrating when they try these new things and you can see the potential in it. You can see how they could make this really, like, actually good if they put some general care into it. It's one of those, it's one of those clear and obvious problems of them now clearly rushing a lot of stuff that they pump out. That without that quality control, without the TLC, they go from they go from, you know, good potential, fun little additions to just rubbish. Just shitting out garbage. Which is what Abundance has felt like, unfortunately. But we will continue to kill beasts and we will continue to win. It's fine. We got this. Taking way too much damage from this dude. I need to gear him up a bit more. Level my house to level 7 just by gathering herbs, ore, and lumber? Really? How's that even possible? I've barely touched my house at all. I mean, I think I was quite brutally honest with my approach to player housing. I 100% see the value in player housing. I just know it's not really for me. But to those who enjoy it, I can see why it's such a very impressive system. See, this is the difference, right? This is the difference between when Blizzard rush something, they just shit out content for the sake of it, and when they take their time and get something right. I think most of us would agree that so far player housing has been pretty big success. Of course, it's had a few teething issues. Everything does, but like generally speaking, I think player housing's been done really well. How many alts do I have doing this? At the moment, about 40-ish, I think. Community task when completed, gathering materials rewards the housing XP. Ah, I see. Yeah. That'll be it. That'll be it. Right, this is the last team of Skinners today that I've got set up, at least. I have to set some more up, but... End off all this rubbish. Okay. Everybody in, everybody in. Kill these quickly, because one of these is a high-value beastie boy. Yo, we got bonus paladin popping off. Now we get the big dude in. You paid for all 5 accounts with gold? Yeah, my credit card's not gone near this game for years. Down he goes. Bit of a party going on down here right now. I don't like to be on shards where I draw that much attention to myself. Right, that is today's haul. Wish I didn't have OCD for this sort of stuff. Everything has to be neat and tidy. Hurts my brain if it's not. Entirely pointless me doing all of this because I can just put it in and take it out with TSM whenever I need it in the first place. But like, it's got to look neat and tidy. Right, that is today's shipment of skinning done. Is it only Eversong? At the moment, yeah. At the moment, I'm still setting them all up, so you'll get to see the setup process now, so I will probably start building out the next team. Means we've got to fly around, pick up some treasures, do some chores. 20 knowledge points is all you need to get going. Do you port back and forth for the daily cooldown crafting? Well, at the moment, they don't have a second profession. Long term, they might get given skinning, but it's one of those, I don't know if I can be bothered. They might get a second profession, I don't know. Because it adds in the extra logistics of, yes, having to move them all the time, and I'm not sure if I can be bothered with that. There's a probability, a chance that they just do skinning, and that's it. But yeah, this was the reason why I switched all of these guys from being my realm flippers to doing something. They have use. They have goal making use by being level 80. So then being just standing around in Ogrimmar selling shit on every realm was kind of wasting their potential. So this is why I spent the weekend rebuilding my auction house flippers. Made them all some level 10 throwaway mages. just so that these level 80 characters can go and do something useful. Oh, down there. That's not far from where I would do it anyway. Oh, there's probably just lots of free killing going on. Thank you, appreciate that. I've actually just been running up and down the middle, doing some simple skinning to get them leveled anyway. They're not too dissimilar. The Hearthstone's changed, meaning if we do eventually do a sort of a, bring them back into town to do some bulk cooldown crafting every 10 days or something, then it becomes easier and it's just a one-way trip. Oh, you can only have 2 primary professions. Oh, shit. This dude had a job in the past. He ain't never gonna do this. Just undone these. This is the bit that is very repetitive, unfortunately, but I think it takes about half an hour to set up the 4 tunes properly. Maybe a little bit more than half an hour. It'll take me longer because I'm doing it on stream as well now. But I can usually get... Oh, this dude's got a job and all. I'm going to regret this decision because these guys were my thaumaturgists from last expansion, but... What do you do with all the gold? Pay for subs on the other accounts? You assume I have lots of gold. I make a bunch of gold, but I'm also very good at spending it. Yes, an awful lot of the gold does go on game time for the accounts. There is... I have a bit of an affliction for buying recipes to max out my professions. I also quite frequently will min-max stuff just for content reasons, which is never cheap. There's yeah, I'm just as good at spending gold as I am at making it. Skinning some nifes. Of course they're the expensive ones. Grab them some quick gear. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stream title does not in any way suggest we're making gold today. Exactly, that's true. See? Open and honest. Open and honest. We spend gold today to make it tomorrow, and if tomorrow never comes, then as long as we enjoy it. Right, now to set up a bunch of busy work stuff. Need follower macros. We need mounts on the right keybinds. We should also probably change that. Oh, actually, there's something else we missed. Add-ons. That on. Who has the most gold in the goblin community? Oh, my throat is fucked. Magicus has long had the title of the richest goblin in WoW. I'm sure he has a lot of gold, but I'm also sure there are people out there that probably have way more. I'm also not convinced he really even plays the game all that much anymore. So it's you know, could be, who knows. What's considered a lot these days? You've got to be in the billion club before it's considered like a lot. Now, obviously, you know, you got to be careful. Like the top 10 richest players in the game are, yes, definitely billionaires, not millionaires. But the understanding of how much gold anybody has is kind of quite loose these days. I pick up the trinket off the floor. I did. Put you down there. Have you had a rant about the mount at work? Tables change. I lost my shit. Do you want to see something cool? Want to see something cool? Oh no, I can't use my longboy here. Oh no, ground mounts are not allowed here. Oh no. Please hold. Ta-da! Ta-da! There is always a way. There is always a way. Thought that'd amuse you. Right, where did we get to? Did I change flight style on this dude? Steady flying, yes. Follow macro. Right, mount. Want that one. Want that one. Change flight style. What else am I missing? Knowledge trainer journal-y thing down there. And put them over here and add the add-on. It's so weird when I actually play the game in full screen, because my monitor's a 32-inch monitor, and I sit too close to it. But the reason why that's usually not a problem is because I'm usually playing like this, so I see all of it. When I actually full screen it, like it's like, whoa. I suppose it should automatically correct the should automatically correct the shrimpage, but it doesn't necessarily always. Always get the Dell 52 in. Yeah, no. I mean, I got a big telly back there that I could use, but I don't. Don't have too much fun with that. It'll be detected. Oh, what, using the longbow on top of the tables, yeah. It's not that much of a problem, is it? Because the reason they got rid of the mounting near the tables is because you couldn't click the damn table. At least if you got people standing on top of it, you can still click the table, even if it does look a bit silly. I'm sure there's something else I meant to do with all of these crafters. I can't remember what it is. Let's just get cracking. Need to... My voice is so broken. I genuinely think I'm giving myself a sore throat. We might have to do a few silent streams. Right, let's roll. Holy frame rate, Batman. This is another reason why I don't do this on stream. Stream seems to steal humongous amounts of me frames. Might have to set up that 2 PC setup before too long. So we've given them all skinning. I've got toolbars sorted on them. Now we got to grab the treasures. You need 20. You need 20 knowledge points. to unlock the right talent for Majestic Beast skinning, which you can do by just flying around and picking up the treasures, is the way I've been doing it so far now. 8 treasures, 3 points each, 24 points. It's not as quick as it would take you to do it on a single character, because of course I use steady flying, so I can carry a few people around at the same time. Get 1 PC for each account. No. That's crazy talk. Ow, flipping hell. Yeah, phasing. Part of the reason why I don't particularly enjoy multi-boxing anymore, it's just such a faff. Skinning the best way to farm. I mean, skinning is an option. It just works well for me. Honestly, though, most people are much, much, much better off just, you know, grabbing herbalism and mining. You can do it at your own pace, at your own scale. Oh, it's here. You're good. When your revolt's following you with steady flying, do they sometimes stop following you mid-air? Yeah, it's because of phasing. When you go from one zone to another, and that phase transition happens, that can usually take a couple of seconds sometimes. It's a seamless transition visually, but behind the scenes, it can yeah, it can screw with things. Skinning is RNG. If you don't have enough alts to smooth it out, you can go for weeks with no epic material drops. If you're unlucky, then you make nothing. Well, if there's 5 majestic beasts for starters. Whilst there isn't, I mean, I've not done the maths on it, but it doesn't feel as if there's much more than, I don't know, maybe a 20% chance to get a majestic material. I don't know if that's even remotely true or not, but if you're doing all 5 majestic beasts every day, you should pretty much be getting at least 1 every day. The problem is yeah, it's not super duper lucrative to do that, because your problem with that is that if you're doing each of the 5 ones yourself and you're putting your own lures down, you're going to spend more on lures than you'll make from the majestics. That's kind of the bigger problem right now, that it's actually not profitable to do it solo. You then, yeah, that's it. You're gonna need the full build, and you're gonna need to pray for like 2 or 3 drops out of the 5 beasts to cover the cost of the lures. This is why most people appear to be camping the lures and waiting for somebody else to place it so that they can get the tag on the mob, rather than placing them down themselves. I need to switch this off. Why will you stop flipping? Yesterday I got 9 drops with build an epic tool. Oh, you went full perception. 9, that's wild. I mean, that's what I'll probably do on my main skinning dude. I'll I'll fully build him out, but I've got to go do his dun-duns. I can't be bothered to do the dun-dun runs. I'll focus on min-maxing them once I've got all of my level 80s set up with the basic build. I always forget to give them their flipping profession tools, and then I start doing all the skinning and then realise, hang on, they've got no tools on. So I've kind of got weirdly into a habit of when I stop at this one treasure, trading over all of the stuff. No reason why, just habit. That's a way to try and not forget. Doing this with 4 characters with a party from custom groups where we chip in usually takes 10 minutes per character. I'd only 1 to 2 days where, and only had 1 to 2 days where it was barely profitable. Well, Majestics right now, what's the average price of a Majestic? Like what, 7k, 5k? I don't even know. I've not been paying that much attention. I would imagine flipping gore guppies alone is going to cost you more than that, isn't it? Fish. You kind of, if you're doing this on single characters, you do kind of want to leech the lures if you can. Wait for some other sucker to place it. Because every penny you spend on the lures comes out of your your majestic your majestic pocket. Majestic pocket. That sounds filthy, doesn't it? Was not intended. Do my head in making a spreadsheet for all the concentration crafts and professions. Wish there was a website you can link your account to and manage your account as a whole for concentration crafting, shopping lists, etc. If you're doing concentration, you zero need for a spreadsheet for concentration. Basically, because once it is set up, you don't touch it. You just straight up just log in every 4 days. I really want to highly stress that do not burn too much time or effort into concentration builds. Because if you haven't got the memo already, the value in a lot of concentration stuff is going to be pretty short-lived. Going as far as to try and make spreadsheets to calculate it all and stuff is just far too much like hard work. All that time could be, dare I say it, spent just herbing and mining. Where's the Zulaman one? It's like round here. There it is. Never remember exactly where that one is. Not had a day under 200k an hour whilst doing my skinning. I've not done any maths on it yet. What would 200k an hour be? 200k an hour at current rates. Let's say Majestics are, well, they're like 5 to 7k or something, aren't they? 5k is easier maths. 5k, 200k an hour is like 40 Majestics, but Majestics only actually about probably 60% of the gold. All of the other high quality mats add up. I don't know. Either way, it's money in the bank, innit? and doesn't take too long once you got it set up. It's just a chore to set up. While thinking track professions, quests, knowledge points, done weekly, concentration, warband, nexus add-on. Yeah, I just don't think there is. There are tools out there. Yeah, you're right. I just really don't think there's much need to be tracking it all. Once you've got it set up, it's literally a case of log in every 4 days and press 3 buttons and then log out. You want to absolutely min-max the shit out of it, so you spend the least possible time you can on each character. I very much made this mistake at the beginning of the War Within, that I spent way too much time and put way too much focus on trying to get my concentration alts like optimal and keeping up with their patron orders and all this sort of guff. Complete and utter waste of time. You just want to absolutely zerg as fast as you can a basic build that works and then never touch it again. This will prevent you from A, overspending, and it will B, prevent you from wasting too much time, which could be spent doing other stuff. And more importantly, that keeping it to an absolute bare minimum at the moment is based upon the fact that you're probably going to have to, it's probably going to take you a little while to recuperate costs of setting these things up. If you were lucky and you got your concentration alts up and running in like the first week, you will have probably already covered their costs with like just a first batch of concentration when all the markets are silly. But every 4 days you come back to them, expect to see less and less margin to the degree where it will very quickly not become worth doing for a lot of people. And right now, most of the concentration markets only work because there's not physically enough knowledge points in the game to do things properly without concentration. But as soon as that changes, soon as tailors, for example, end up with enough knowledge points to actually craft bolts properly, the value in concentration is going to absolutely disappear within seconds. I mean, there's a few things for few professions. Jewel crafters with their kaleidoscopics, I think, still feels as if could end up being quite good for quite a while. There appears to be enough demand of those to it to kind of, you know, stick around for a while. What else we got? Blacksmiths with the alloys. As long as high quality ore stays pretty pricey, there'll be value in the alloys for blacksmithing. The issue is you can only do like a full bar of concentration is what, like 5 crafts of the alloys. So you gotta kind of hope and pray for a few juicy multi-craft procs to make each of the characters worthwhile, but what else is there? I can't think off the top of my head. I'm sure there's other options. Is it worth replacing blue War Within profession gear with green Midnight ones? Yes, because the stats from the War Within don't work. So, yeah, absolutely yes. Yeah, they're just paperweights. Is there any way to level blacksmithing without spending $1 million on recrafting? Recrafting's the cheap way to do it. It'll cost you $1 million if you don't do recrafting. You can do decor, I think. What are the other blacksmithing options? I'm trying to think. Yeah, no. Blacksmithing is basically level a whole bunch of profession tool, BOE profession tools. Sell them on the auction house. Recuperate your gold that way. Yeah, both blacksmithing and in engineering have paths to success with decor, I think. Not fantastic ones, but something's better than nothing. This is a world question. Do these worms still skin? Thought these were nerfed. But they do still skin. They appear to be a little bit buggy. Flippin' hell, how fast was that druid? That wasn't legit, was it? That wasn't legit. There's speed sets, and then there was that. Don't know who saw that, but that was not legit. I mean, I'm not exactly looking overly legit myself right now, running around with a train of flipping characters, but that... I know dodgy when I see it. I don't like this spot. Let me go grab the other treasure first. How much gold can I pay you to eat a spoonful of butter live on... What kind of question is that? I am not open for that level of bribery. It's not even a sub goal that's going to make that happen. Imagine not eating spoons of butter anyway. It's true. True. Peanut butter, maybe. Love me some peanut butter. Ah, that's what I need to do. I need to go buy some like natural honey or something. That's like perfect for unfucking up your voice. Natural honey's like, well, in theory all honey's natural, but a lot of the shit you find in those like plastic bear kind of shaped containers is like hardly honey. I'm talking like shit that fell off a bee, kind of proper honey, you know? Never tasted peanut butter? Tastes like peanuts, yeah. Hints in the name. It's one of the few things that doesn't taste like chicken. Yeah, I do like me some peanut butter, I'm not gonna lie. No! Charge close to me. Die near me. Come here, you stupid putty cat. Holy links, Batman. Can we get a shorter link? Any more for any more? Fella over here. How to know real honey from fake honey. Oh, is that what you were Googling? It looks like it fell off a bee, it's real. $6K a crystal in the EU. Getting pricey. Getting spicy. People are starting to make enchants, maybe. Bee vomit. I mean, that is technically what honey is, right? Right, are we... Okay, we're not quite skill 25 yet. Rank 2 Dawn Crystals, 8.2k over on NA. 7k for rank 1. It's slightly weird. Well, maybe I know more than some people do. But a well-spec'd disenchanter gets more high quality than they get low quality. I'm surprised we haven't seen a crossover of prices. Well, then again, it's probably going to be... I don't even know how it's going to be, actually. It's just can't... Like, the enchanting market is just going to be weird. The fact that flipping disenchanting is at such a rate. Like, they clearly as well, right? Blizzard clearly just deleted one quality and kind of forgot to rebalance numbers accordingly. Or unless this is part of the great plan, right? There's a strong possibility that this is just a great plan to make everything so simple for people. You know, there's two qualities, but you're not going to have to choose because the high quality will be cheaper than the normal quality. So, you know, if we remove the choice, then apparently it's simpler, right? Even though it's going to make the whole thing feel completely wackadoodle. And completely illogical. But apparently this is simplicity. Loot the damn mobs. There we go. Oh, there we go. One of them's skill 25. They should all hit 25 at the same time, technically. I've done my job properly, which I clearly haven't. 25, there we go. Hoping 12.1 introduces a third rank quality to things. I mean, that would be very sneaky. I can't imagine they'd go that route. The outcry for backpedaling would be outrageous. It would be funny though. Enchanting's kind of rubbish so far. It's one of those professions that people should never have expected it to amount to anything yet. Just for like 1 second, just think with your brain and like understand that nobody's buying enchants, so why would enchanting be any good? Like this is the thing. Like, where the fuck are you going? With nobody buying enchants yet, no shit, enchanting is like tough cookie to crack. It's hence why the only way that enchanting has really seen any value so far is, you know, by some sort of processing, preparation stuff, you know, turning all of, you know, a bunch of disenchanting and a few enchants here or there for crafting profession tools and whatever. But yeah, it shouldn't be that much of a surprise that enchanting has been dog-do so far. Nobody wants an enchant. I mean, I have drip-fed a few enchants, but the reality is on my main enchanter, I didn't really spec into something that has ended up being that in demand. I did put more value on crafters enchanting their tools with high quality enchants. I think probably quite rightly, a lot of crafters are not going to bother with an enchant until they get their epic one, which is fair judgment call, I suppose. It's also going to be a little bit difficult when, because right now, I mean, if you go search the WoW economy subreddit, you find any one of the 500 threads basically with the title that somewhat translates to crafting is dead. Take any one of those posts and you'll find that nearly every single time the advice being, you know, given is that the season hasn't started, there's no demand yet. Which of course is true. But at the same time, the thing that concerns me more so than anything else is I don't really think it's actually going to get that much better. The only people who are going to win are going to be people who buy their materials at the best possible price. And I've been saying this for about a week now. You absolutely have to get into the habit of micromanaging your material costs. It's a skill that used to be really popular in gold making. It got talked about a lot. People put a lot of effort into it, but people have become lazy. Or maybe not so much lazy. Maybe lazy is the wrong word, but people have just been able to live without doing it. The region-wide auction house, I think, and the concoction of both the region-wide auction house and also the, you know, the lack of just general knowledge about the profession system kind of gave people a bit of an edge over most other people. And you could get away with just buying your materials whenever you needed your materials, and you could craft stuff and you could sell it at a profit, and you know, lol all the way to the bank. But don't really work like that anymore. This is the third expansion with this system. People know it absolutely inside out. And even if you don't know the system inside out, you have to be prepared for the fact that other people do. and there's enough people that do know the system inside out that they're not making errors, they're not making mistakes. They've got their knowledge points in the right places. They've got their top tier profession tools. They've got their enchants on their profession tools. You know, they've done everything that they should do to get a BIS build. The only wiggle room left feels to me to be optimizing your material costs, which I don't really see anybody talking about particularly. And when you think about all of the tools that we have at our disposal, we've got some incredible spreadsheets floating around the community. We've got some amazing add-ons which used to be weak auras. You know, things like Craft Sim have turned up day one. Like these are tools that we just didn't have day one of the expansion previously. But now that we have all of these tools on top of what is a simpler profession system in general, you have to find an edge. You have to find something that gives you an advantage over the 99 other people trying to do the same thing. And realistically, the only edge that is left is focusing on material price. Getting your materials for the cheapest possible price you can. Now, as much as I hate to say it, that kind of leads me to the theory of that, like, buying your materials when they're not really in demand, because there's a good chance that when they are in demand, they might end up being worth more, is a sensible move, even though I really dislike talking about it, because people just want me to give them the answer. I can't do that, because I don't know the answer. I don't have a crystal ball. But it's very clear to me that we are moving in a direction where those who get that, you know, getting materials at a good price will be the difference between making profit and not. Your professions will just end up being literally a tool that, you know, like an electrician has a toolbox, for example. Your profession will be your toolbox. If you turn up to do a job without your toolbox, you're going to look like a clown. But you also have to remember that every other person doing that job's also got a toolbox. What is the mats for one of these lures? One of you. Shit in hell, 15,000 gold. This is why people are leeching lures off others. What was that? 20,000 gold for? Well, no. 17,000 gold for 10 days worth of skins. Might as well flip the damn mats at this point. There is logic in that, yeah. When the only differentiation, the only thing that you can do to differentiate yourself from somebody else is to flip the mats. It is the mats. Then there is also the opportunity cost argument of why bother even with the crafting professions. I get that, but I look at it as a diversification. That yes, you could just flip the mats, and actually, if you get your mats at the cheap enough price, that's not a terrible option. You can always, let's say you buy 100,000 leather, you could put that same 100,000 leather back on the auction house for 20% more than you paid for it. If it sells, you win. But you also then use the auction house as your personal bank. Whenever you need some leather, you take those auctions down, you craft with it, and you hope that that extra thing that you make with that leather gives you more and more options to sell all of your stuff. That's kind of the way I look at it. If you just purely go the flipping route, you might eventually, although probably not so much with a region-wide auction house, you might eventually get to the point where it's you might start struggle to resell everything, but I don't think you would. Anyway. Investment high-level strats over. Let's kill a putty cat for its claws. Just wanted to tell you how impressed I was at your ability to stay chill. How do you mean? I don't think I've been very chill over this expansion. I nearly rage quit a stream the other day. That surprised even me. I do my best to stay chill. I'm not immune to a bit of a rage from time to time. We even have an alter ego called Ranthius for that reason. The fact that sometimes emotions get the better of me. Right, that dude is done. It's all this random bullshit gear in my bags. I need to fix that. You don't get any flipping majestics off that lot. Stinky. Did I? I'm doubting myself that I even properly flipping set those characters up now. I'm assuming I did. Love a bit of Anthias. I read a back and forth in Discord last week that could have ended up with me saying kindly fuck off, but you didn't. Oh, really? Oh, I see. I've done this for too long to get too stressed by it. Do we think resetting rank 2 bolts is a wise move, or will exploiters still have full knowledge points on tailoring? I never really recommend resetting anything. It's super duper mega dangerous. I have a little bit of a saying here. The best way to reset a market is to trick somebody else into doing it for you. Simply because doing any sort of reset 9 times out of 10 leaves you holding the bag and benefits nobody but everybody else. The best thing to do is to watch or trick somebody else into doing it for you and be ready to jump when they do it. That's the play that way, I think. But no action's been taken on exploits, so no. I can confirm that anybody that exploited to gain knowledge points has had them rolled back. These are I can't share this with you because it's in a private Discord with Blizzard, but knowledge points did get rolled back and account actions were looked into. That they were almost verbatim words to me. Now, obviously, in terms of tailoring cooldown bolts, you know, like I said, I'm not the police here. I don't have any say in that sort of stuff, but Blizzard were aware of the exploits. They have told people that they have fixed the exploits. So, in theory, it should be fine. We just have to trust that it is fine. But anyway, boys and girls, I've been up since like 5 a.m. this morning. I'm absolutely starving. This is quite a short stream, but we are going to leave it there for today. over the next couple of days, we'll probably poke into a little bit more sort of pre-season sort of stuff. I might not stream tomorrow. I'm kind of liking this 3-day-a-week stream schedule on the basis that it gives me a couple of days to get other stuff done. If I don't see you tomorrow, I will see you on Wednesday, where we'll have reset day and the season will officially begun. So it could be fun. If you're out there goal making, enjoy it. Best of luck to you. Come say hi on the Discord if you're not there already. Here's a fun fact. There should be, if you're not in the Discord, jump in the Discord. Shameless promo. I've nearly finished the TSM groups, which I'll post in the Discord within the next 24 hours, I reckon. So if you want yourself a nice, clean, organized TSM set of groups, they'll be in the Discord soon. I'll make its own little channel. I'll put it under the free guide section stuff. So yeah, have fun with that. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. I'm going to raid you over to the 24/7 stream. Feel free to lurk in there. I always appreciate it. Otherwise, I'll see you all next time. Have a good one. Peace.